What's good, everybody? It's Kimi, and I'm back with my tea of the day. And y'all are in for a great surprise. I actually have someone on my channel. Well, I was on his channel, but I'm bringing our live to my channel as well. Me and D-Lo had we got into some things, me and D-Lo. So, I'm about to plug it in so y'all can listen to us have some fun and key and talk about some shit. Thank you.
What's up, y'all? This is another episode of D-Lo Speaks, and I'll have another guest podcaster on this episode. His his podcast name is Kimi's Tea of the Day, KEEMY''S Tea of the Day. And y'all should definitely go and check him out. But this will be episode 11 of D-Lo Speaks. And guess what? Today is my birthday. So I'm going to give y'all a good show. Because I'm in a good mood. But I want to thank y'all for tuning in. The specific tweet that I ran across, the dude was like, I don't understand what people see in Chance. Because he was like, who is his target audience? And then, a bunch of people in the comments was just like, some of them was agreeing with him, and some of them was just like, Chance is the type to reach these certain people or reach these certain people. They was like trying to be funny. And then one dude was like, basically, Chance is the type of artist who's for everybody. And he does like certain songs, it's like on a conscious level where it's kind of like empowering, or some of it he might do trap, you just never know. But he's pretty much versatile or whatever. And one guy pretty much explained what I said earlier when I was speaking on the direction of his album. And but I noticed that the ones that actually had answers for him, he wasn't responding to them, but he was responding to the people who was trying to be funny. And I was just like, wow, like, I never thought that Chance had, hate, because where was this hate when he dropped the coloring book? Nobody had hate towards him. If anything, they were comparing the coloring book to Drake's album, and they felt like the coloring book was way better than Drake, and they've been clowning Drake while Chance was doing real good. So I was just like, wow, this fake hate just came out the middle of nowhere. But you know what? It is what it is, because they're going to continue to talk, and I'm going to just sit back and watch it all happen. You know what? They'll be right back on his side.
Exactly.
It was very pointless. But yeah, I think it was an overall good album.
Like, he has a lot of bops. He has a lot of playback value.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say I'm gonna continue an everyday type thing, because I'm not, a whole fan of hip hop or rap, or especially man rap or whatever. But I still enjoy this album. So there's definitely some tracks that I enjoy that I would definitely listen to.
Right.
Like, Fools was everything. And the whole I Got You, the whole Vogue, and Ari, that was everything. Like, that brought me back to the 90s. Like, I think that's what he was trying to do.
Hold on, you sound far away again.
It's not correct. I'm gonna let you listen to how happy I am. And I'm gonna let you listen to what I grew up listening to.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely the vibe I got off of that song.
The Row featuring his brother was dope too.
Which one?
Row. It was featuring Taylor Bennett.
You know what? I heard the person on there, and I did not know who it was, but I like that song a lot too.
Handsome, Meg killed it.
Yeah, she did.
Big Fish, Gucci, he did his thing, and not for nothing, like Chance is a rapper. Like we're not gonna forget like he's not a rapper, he's a rapper. He's a rapper.
Yeah.
He's rapping his ass off on his album.
Exactly. Yeah, I like Big Fish too. That one was catchy to me as well. But yeah, like you said, it definitely has. Huh?
Balling and flossing with freaking Shawn Mendes. That was a whole vibe by itself.
I think I want to say I don't know if I really felt that one. Like I was listening to it, and as I was hearing it, I was like, I don't know if I quite fully like this one yet. But I would just have to, keep listening because eventually a song is gonna grow on you. But,
right.
I think that's what's gonna happen with that one because, like you said, it does have replay value. And I'll probably be listening to this album for a good minute, just like how I did the coloring book. And before I know it, all the songs gonna be in my top 3. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but it's gonna be there. But yeah, I think overall it was a great album.
I definitely agree.
Did you get a chance to hear Fendi and Dev part on Queen Radio?
I actually did last night.
So what you thought about it?
I felt like Fendi was still not trying to be 100% honest with everything. And Nicki had to cut that shit like, no, sweetheart, you on Queen Radio, you about to be honest. I ain't waiting for you to not tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Right.
And I love that they're in a place where they can actually talk and that they can communicate. And I also love that he knew he was not trying to tell the whole truth. But he still ended up telling the truth because this is the responsibility. She's never disrespected you to the fact where she never gave you credit for what you've done in your career.
Right.
And the whole depth thing, that was a whole game. Like, she was really going to go on from him. And she's like, okay, Dad, I love you. I'm going to love you. Because she knows, like...
She knew the direction it was going.
It's going to be looked at as, oh, she's hated. Oh, she told them. Oh, this or that. No. These people are telling the truth, but y'all don't want to fucking hear it. So we're not going to get into those things until y'all ready to fucking hear the fucking truth. And I'm happy that she made it known, like, oh, Kim was better. And Kim walked away from her several times, and I'm really fucking her.
Hold on, you sound far away. Should remix again?
I feel like it was everything. It was definitely what we needed. She felt happy. She's not overthinking things like she's been saying lately. Like how like her freestyles basically gets more traction and stuff that she does.
Right.
So I'm happy for her. Like she did what she needed to do. She bodied it, and it's definitely one of her best versions that she's done. And the confidence that she has in it is like no other.
Gotcha. Yeah, I pretty much felt the same way. I felt like she had, got to the point where it was just like, okay, y'all want the old me back? All right, I'm gonna give it to you. Which, me personally, I felt like it never left. I just think that she just matured with her lyrics and, with different things. So, of course, as time grows and you grow within, being an artist, of course, certain things you're not going to go back to. But I felt like, she just was like, all right, let me step back in this bag because I'm in a good space right now. I'm feeling good, so this is what I'm going to do. And people, they seem to like it. So that's a plus.
Absolutely. Because she definitely needs the GP.
Say that again.
She definitely needs the GP to be back in her corner.
Which I feel like they still gonna be fake with it anyway, but
it's gonna be fake. But I feel like people are now realizing like we giving these people all of this shit for what?
Right.
That's not what hip hop is. Like, yeah, we might not like her, but she's hip hop.
Right.
She's about her business, and she's going down regardless, see whether you like her or not, as one of the greatest.
That's
to
true.
do it.
That's definitely true. Well, since we still on the subject about Nicki, with T.I. making this whole trap house thing, what's your views on that?
Well, I've seen the picture, and then I've actually seen him explain it, per se. And the explanation was kind of, you'll be mad if I didn't put her in it, or you'll be mad if I didn't add a female to begin with, because he wasn't going to add a female at all. There's not that many female that actually is trapped, so I definitely get that. But it's the whole aspect of you not sharing a fucking crown or a throne with no nigga. So why does she have to share someone who just came in the game?
Right.
That y'all just giving this shit to. For no ride or nothing. But then when you actually look at the picture, it's like you have two pictures of Cardi, but you have a big picture of Nicki, and then you have words on the wall, meaning that she writes her shit. So then you got to look at it as that, like, okay, like, we're giving it to her because she's the queen, but then you're giving it to the new girl because she has this buzz that we can't deny that's there, whether it's for good reasons or not. But Cardi's here,
right?
But Nicki should never share a throne with no one, and that's what I would rather him not even have put it at all than to have done that.
Right.
Disrespectful to me.
When I saw it, first of all, I was confused because I didn't understand why people was mad. And the only reason why I say I didn't understand why people was mad because, like, there was no words or anything to explain why people were so furious with the picture. But then I actually looked at it and I was like, oh, they mad because of that. And I was like, well, I understand why they mad because, like you said, why do they have to share the throne? Which they've always been trying to put it where females had to share the throne.
Right.
And I think that it's kind of corny to the fact that, you know, like you said, the males don't share the throne. I was watching a video yesterday with Roxanne Shante, and she basically was letting Sway, I think it was Sway, either Sway or Vlad, one two, but she was basically letting them know, like, this whole female rapper title didn't come around until she lost a battle rap she was doing. And you know, if you watched the series or the movie on Netflix with her, then you know, I think they mentioned it in it, but you know, the guy asked what number, because she was getting 9s all day, so what number would she have to get in order to lose? And he basically made her get a number 2. If she got a 2, she would have lost. So he gave her a 2. And his reason for doing that was because at the time she was only like 14 or 15. She had done bodied everybody in the battle rap tournament, and she was at the last person. And if she had won, the industry, you know, they wouldn't have taken her serious because, one, she was young. And these labels and different things wouldn't want to do nothing with her. So he said that's why he made her lost at the beginning. And that's when people would come up to her and say, hey, you know, you still the best female rapper, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, that term came around in the 80s or whatever. And to move up to 2019 and for T.I. to make this whole picture and them sharing the throne and, you know, got them listed as female rappers, I felt like he should have kind of went into it with the mindset of just rappers in general, whether they're actual rappers or entertainers. I mean, I get that he called it the trap house, but Cardi and Nicki are in 2 separate lanes, so they should have had their own throne if he wanted to put it that way. Or either way it go, if he didn't have put Cardi or Nicki on there or no females at all, I feel like it wouldn't even been a problem. Like, people probably would have talked about it and be like, oh, why no females is up there? But I don't think that it would have made it a big deal. But absolutely, he kind of, you know, made it that because he put them on the same throne, and, you know, with the how many pictures he put up with Cardi or how much he put. I didn't even look at that because I didn't think that really mattered. I think the whole big issue was why do they have to share thrones? But you got men in this same trap house who isn't sharing the throne with other people. And I think that was just the big, idea of it. I didn't even know that he gave a response, for people being upset about it.
Like, I think it was on Instagram where he actually posted it or whatever when he was with his quote unquote wife, Tiny.
Mm-hmm.
But like, you shouldn't have to share anything. And to me, like, T.I. was never on the throne to begin with, so I'm confused why he's making a trap house. Like, yeah, that's the sound, and that's from the South.
Mm-hmm.
So for you to make a trap house, like, expose per se,
Mm-hmm.
you have to have trap house people. And Cardi's not trap. Nicki did a trap song, which was Bees in the Trap, but that was it. So she's not trapped either. So I don't think the general public would have been mad if there was no females.
Right.
But then it's like, you have to acknowledge the female presence in hip hop, especially now, because it's so present.
Right. Definitely agree. Yeah, I think, but it died down really quick, which I thought was.
Roxanne's on tight. In her body, everyone, like, females body listen, but they don't get the credit that they deserve. They will never be looked at as on the same level, which is sad.
Yeah.
I mean, they get out that mind that or female can't do this or that. Females is bodying with it, and that's why a lot of men don't want females on the track.
Right.
Especially yours, actually rap. That's why.
Right. So what you think about Chance's album, The Big Day?
Hold on. Chance's album was good. It was definitely something I didn't expect.
Mm-hmm.
But I enjoyed it. Because I never paid attention to Chance at all.
Mm-hmm.
Just to keep it a buck. I never listened to the coloring book or the other one that he put out, the other mixtape he put out.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually enjoyed it. Like, I felt like I was listening to something from the 90s. I loved. And I love that he was not like every other rapper.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he actually had a message. He showed how happy he was. Like, men don't show how happy they are.
You keep sounding like you're going.
So in love. And that's really beautiful to see.
Yeah, you keep sounding like you're going in and out, or like far away.
My headphones again.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay.
My headphones.
You better now.
It never goes off when I'm doing it by myself, but for whatever reason, I guess now it's doing that. I don't know.
Okay. I can hear you a little bit better now.
Okay.
But yeah, I kind of have the same views. Like, I didn't. I heard a couple of songs like from his earlier mixtape, but I haven't actually sat fully listening to it. The coloring book, loved it from start to finish. I was listening to it the other day, but when this album dropped, I kind of had that feeling that Nicki was going to be on this album. And what happened, I was on Instagram and I saw that Chance had commented on one of her pictures. Mm-hmm. And when I saw that, I was like, that's unusual. But I was thinking about it, but I didn't think on it heavy. So then one of my mutuals was on Twitter, and she pretty much was like, I feel like Chance didn't drop that album last night because Nicki is on it. And I commented and was like, I kind of feel the same way because I saw that he commented on one of her pictures. And then the minute we finished talking about that, like 5 minutes later, that's when Nicki made the tweet and was like, she was on the two singles or the two songs on the album, and then that's when he dropped it, and I was like, yo, that's so crazy. But even then, that day, I didn't even have the chance to actually sit down and process the whole album. So then,
Right.
last night, I was listening to it. I listened to it from start to finish again. And I like the direction that he took. I like how he pretty much explained like the different processes he went through with, being single, and his wife, putting him on like this whole relationship type punishment and, different things like that. But I like how he, took the direction of it. A lot of people I don't think that they really understood the direction that he was taking with it. Because,
and how honest he was.
Huh?
And how honest he was.
Yeah, and I don't think they really appreciated that. They was expecting him to be on this whole hype trap wave, and no, Chance not even that type of artist, number one. And
right.
Two, I didn't even know that he had people who didn't really like him. Like, I didn't really start seeing the hate tweets or, people disliking him as an artist until yesterday and today. And I was like, dang, these much people like really didn't like Chance? I thought it was kind of corny, but
then you know how the world is. Like, when you hot, and when you're not, you're not.
Right.
Quote unquote, general public. Like, if they can't bump to it, or they're not in that lifestyle, or they're not living your life, and they're not feeling the feelings that you're putting out, they're not gonna like it because they don't understand it.
Right.
That's why they're like a lot of R&B people, or people who's always sad, who makes sad music, never to be happy, because they feel like it's not gonna be good. Right. No, like, Chance is happy. He's in love. He dealt with what he dealt with his wife, and that made them even more stronger than what. That's why they are where they are.
Exactly.
And like, I get it completely. Like, it's a whole mood. Like, the way it's beautifully written, and it's beautifully produced.
Right.
Which I was kind of surprised with. I'm not even gonna front. Like, just the way it really flowed, like, it told a story. Like, to me, he's more of a storyteller than a rapper.
Right. Yeah, I definitely got that same vibe. I can't even sit and like actually list a top 5 because like it's multiple songs on this album that I really like. But the ones that stood out the most, of course, the first track did. That one stood out the most to me.
All Day Long?
Huh?
All Day Long?
I think that's the name of it.
Yeah.
It pretty much, it set the tone for the album. So I really like that. And then moving along, going down, I don't know him by name, but the one with the baby, I think it was called something shower, hot shower or big shower, whatever it was called.
Mm-hmm.
But
I didn't feel that. Like, I listened to it a few times and I just can't get into it.
Yeah.
Like, I guess what they was trying to do. Mm-hmm. I just don't feel like it was executed the way it needed to be executed.
Right.
Like, but like, out of the whole album, I think like that's my least favorite.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't know. I might have a least favorite, but I don't think I actually got to that point yet because I'm still processing the fact of how good I felt like the album was. I definitely had liked the that one with the baby and because I think it was something about. I think it was the way that they came in on the track, or maybe a hook or something that like drew me in. So I was like, yeah, I like this because it's catchy.
Right.
I definitely like the one with In Vogue and Ari Lennox. Like that's my song right there. Like I caught on to the hook the first day. Like I knew the words because with me, like because I sing a lot, like it's easier for me to pick up on actual singing songs than it is rapping songs. But I definitely like that one because I think that it was kind of dope that In Vogue was like trying to make this comeback, which people, really wasn't rocking with it because of this generation. They're not as mature, so they don't look for that. And then they didn't grow up in that time, so that's understandable. But I definitely like that one. I like Handsome with Megan Thee Stallion. I wasn't even
Nah,
expecting her to be on that song, but
it
I
was
think she
everything.
did pretty good. I think she did good. I like that one. Um, I definitely like The Big Day. I like that one a lot. I like Eternal. That one was
Mhm.
good. Definitely like Sliding Around and Zanies and Fools. Like Sliding Around is a whole vibe.
It is.
When I listen to it, when I listen to I listen to Slide Around first. Then I listen to Zanies and Fools. Now Zanies and Fools, that's straight hip hop, like straight lyrical, everything. Like they delivered on that track. And I love that track a lot. But for some reason, I guess sonically and more mainstream wise, I feel like
It's not
Slide Around is,
right.
the better choice. Even though they didn't deliver like how they did on Zanies and Fools, but I think Sliding Around is a more, laid back. I'm riding in the car with the windows cracked,
Type of
chilling,
vibe.
riding on the night. But that song is really good. I like it. I definitely like it.
For some reason, I like Zanies and Fools more.
Right.
I feel like because it's the whole essence of hip hop, it's the whole essence of storytelling, it's the whole essence of like really getting in your bag and really just telling a story.
Right.
And we tend to forget how clever Nicki Minaj is in telling stories.
I
Because
agree.
she might not do it every album, she might not do it every single, but when she gets in that bag that she has, she delivers.
Right.
But people forget like she's the fucking go. Like, yeah. But it's not about that's a whole mood. Like it's just everything. Like the babe, like Little Dirk was perfect on it. Chance rapped his ass off on it. Nicki was perfect on it. Like that was just a whole vibe, and it's a whole moment. Like I wasn't fully aware. Like I always wanted them to work together. I just didn't know when that was gonna happen.
Right. That's how I was. That's definitely how I was. Because I wanted them to work together like last year. And I was hoping that they would. And then all of a sudden when she said that she was on his album, I was like, wait, what? Like, I'm getting it now? And it seemed like I just asked about this like a couple of days ago, but I knew it was last year when I asked. Or,
Right.
Been like, man, I really want them to work on that, work together, whether it's just a single or whatever the case is. But I was glad that she was on this album, and I was glad that people was actually, supporting him. But
It's just the whole fact of like, and then the whole aspect when she got dropped, or the people kept on overlooking her, and she started crying, and they were like, "Look who the fuck you are," type thing. Like
right.
that was a bad one. Like Def is a real one. She's always been a real one. She's always been cutthroat. That's what a lot of artists need. They're not gonna baby you. They're not gonna coddle you. They're not gonna do this out and third. But when she listened to her, she was like, "Oh, she's a beast. I need to meet her."
Right. Yeah, I definitely agree. I think that it was like you said, Fendi was still being fake about it. I think
I wouldn't say fully fake. I just think that he still wanted to have his cake, per se.
Yeah, that too, but I don't know. Fendi, I just don't like Fendi. Fendi put a bad taste in my mouth ever since that situation, because it was just like, you could tell he was being self-centered. He wanted some type recognition for everything, and he made it seem like Nicki never like appreciated him, or she didn't try to like give him credit for stuff, and he know that she did, but because him and Kim at the time was just like in their feelings about a whole bunch of stuff that they felt like Nicki didn't do to them correctly, or whatever the case is, they just felt the need that they had to like, do her kind of grimy, and I didn't like that. And at that moment, I was kind of happy that they was at this position where they could actually speak on it now. But I still feel like Fendi wasn't trying to be 100% honest, and he wanted to keep it, in the light or the way that he saw it. He didn't want to understand it from Nicki's perspective. And when she called Dev, and Dev, got on the phone and kept it above, then Fendi, he kept quiet and was like, "Oh no, it ain't no beef with Dev. I ain't got no problem with her." Yeah, but her and Nicki is telling the truth. So stop. 10 years now, 10 years later, or 11 years later, however you want to look at it, you still sitting here on this same story you was on in freaking 2011, 2012. You need to let that go and just be honest about everything. And I thought it was kind of funny how, and I already knew that it was going to happen. I knew where Dev was going to go with this whole conversation.
Right.
And when she mentioned about the whole homage thing, I knew she was about to go in. But Nicki didn't want
to
go that route.
She did it.
Right.
I'm happy she brought it up, though. Because it needed to be brought in.
But see, this thing, Deb was bringing that up for years. Even on little interviews that she was doing. But I felt like Nicki didn't want that at that, exact moment, because that's not why she called her. But I mean, she slipped it in there, and it needed to be heard, like you said, but I'm glad that Nicki cut it off, because the blogs, that would have been another
clickbait.
Yeah, and that beef would have escalated again, because Kim kind of get excitement out of this, and she feel like somebody is always after her. But Nicki been dead, they little situation, Kim still hold this bitterness toward her, and even other people other than Dev was coming out their mouth saying how Kim was on this bitter streak and didn't want to put Nicki on when she first came out and all this other stuff. And I just find it funny that people is trying to put this on Nicki. No, it's Kim. We're not saying that Nicki an angel and that she never took shots at Kim, or but she did what she had to do. She defended herself. So in some light, they both have wrongs, but at the end of the day, majority is on Kim.
Exactly. It's definitely funny how everyone wants it to be Nicki has to show props, or Nicki has to bring the next girl up, and this and the third, but they never put that pressure on Kim. Kim ain't have to bring no one up. Exactly. Kim ain't have to bring no female up. She would beef it with every female in the game. But the general public seems to understand or try to realize that happened, because it happened.
Right.
Eve said it happened. She got in it with the Brat. She got in it with Foxy. She got in it with Eve. She got in it with Nicki. Come on.
Yep.
But yet you still ain't put out no music. You're still not on the Billboard. Let your music speak for itself. And the music that you put out was garbage, or it was coming after Nicki. But you're not putting out music that you actually love and you actually feel for, so you can actually present it to the world the way it needs to be presented.
Right.
Minus the auto-tune, because you're dope. You are a rapper. You are a lyricist. We can't take that away from you, but this whole auto-tune shit is garbage. So what the fuck away? And do what the fuck you need to do. Rap. You are a rapper, quote unquote, whether you vote your shit or not, or whether Biggie vote your shit, I really don't know. But let's get into some things. Do you feel like rappers need to write their stuff? Or do you think it's okay for them to get it handwritten for them?
Negative. They're supposed to write their stuff. That's what proves whether they're a rapper or not. It's totally different from being a singer. And I'm glad that you brought that question up, because we could just basically speak on the whole female rap unity and the state of R&B, which could be a part of this, this question that you asked me. But rappers is supposed to write their own stuff. You have certain rappers who either write and spit, or they just freestyle. Prime example, Lil Wayne. He freestyles pretty much everything. He been freestyling, and we saw it firsthand on Nicki Come Up DVD when they did was it Young Money Ballers and Higher Than a Kite. He was freestyling. Right. He didn't write anything. He freestyled it, but he's still a rapper because nobody was standing there in his ear telling him what to say next. Roxanne Shante, let's go back to the 80s. She was freestyling stuff too. She didn't get, anything written for her. So, well, I think it was one thing. It was a dude who would diss her or something, but she did mention in an interview that one person wrote a song and told her she could use it as a response back to the dude. But anything of hers, like when it came to albums or just her off the top battle rap and all that stuff, all that was her. Who else? Like Queen Latifah and all of them. You never heard anything about anybody writing for them. And
not at all.
They had, even though people felt like sometimes women were getting stuff written for them back then because they felt like in order for them to pop, they needed to be around men. And when these women proved their point that they didn't need the men to write stuff for them, then it kind of died down. But then all of a sudden, when Nicki came in the game, man, and just to make one thing clear, out of all of this stuff that they're saying about women and getting men to write stuff for them, you never heard, well, at least I know I didn't, but you never heard nobody say somebody wrote for Trina. All these years she done been in the game.
Exactly.
Diamond and Princess from Crime Mob. You never heard the guys writing for them on Crime Mob. You never heard somebody say, "Oh, dude, write that for her and she spit it." You never heard that. And you never heard people saying, "Oh, somebody wrote for Nas," or somebody wrote for freaking Tupac or Jay-Z, Biggie. You never heard that.
I heard that someone wrote for Nas and Jay-Z. I don't think it's accurate. I don't buy it. I need receipts.
Exactly.
But I did hear that.
And see, the thing is, nobody, these people, they say that for Jay-Z and Nas, but where's the reference tracks? Who are they writers? Say who their writers are, and then I'll go with it and do my research. But other than that, I have not heard anything. Roxanne Shante was the one who discovered Nas, and he basically got on because he was actually spitting. They respected what he wrote. And him and Jay-Z, they was on their whole God flow back in the 90s. People wasn't really listening. And at the age that we are now, if you go back and you listen, you be like, dang, this is what hip hop used to be, and this is what I wanted to be. But now, these little young people done come in the game, switching everything, and Cardi and Young Miami is the main two that I'm going to put at the top to blame, because they feel as though not writing your raps is okay, because they feel as though some of your favorite rappers get somebody to write for them. No, y'all seeing that being rumored throughout y'all little fan base, so of course y'all gonna go with that statement. And I blame Safari too, because he made that whole lie up about him writing for Nicki, knowing dang well he did not write for her. Because if you wrote for her, why your music ain't pop? And then when Meek did the whole thing and got mad with Drake and said that dude wrote for Drake, and everybody was like, they was quick to find who wrote for Drake or who helped out with Drake. And even in the song, the dude that had helped Drake write, he made a song and basically made it in the light of Drake hit him up. It wasn't how I took it, and I might have misunderstood it, but I felt like what Quentin was saying was basically Drake hit him up. They both wrote the songs. It wasn't 100% Quentin. They both wrote the songs. And that's how it went. I'm gonna go back and listen to the song, fully, just to get it again. But that's how I took it when I first heard the song. So, as a rapper, you definitely have to write your raps in order to be considered a rapper. Singing is completely different, because your vocals is what brings out your talent. So it's I don't understand how people think that it's okay when you're a rapper, you don't have to write your raps, but they be quick to bring a singer into the same category as a rapper. You can't do that, because it's totally different. It's totally different. So what you think about it?
I don't know what's going on with this. Basically singers, they have to make the song come alive. Like that's their MO. Their vocals is their everything. But for rappers, you have to rap. You have to write. Even if you're not the best writer, you have to continue to write, to push your pen to make yourself better. For singers, you have to keep on practicing your vocals to make your vocals better. And when you don't, then you're a lazy vocalist. And if you don't, then you're a lazy writer. Or you're a lazy rapper. But for Cardi and all these new people who want to have ghostwriters and make it okay, make it a thing, like, you're not respecting rap. You're not respecting the artistry. You're not even respecting yourself.
Right.
Okay? Yeah, I got something written for me.
I definitely agree. That's like, and I find it funny that anytime we have this topic, when it comes to rappers writing for themselves, everybody always bring up Beyonce and somebody writing for her. But I don't understand how they could bring Beyonce up in this matter, but it's so many other singers out there who gotten songs written for them. Like, for an example, with the whole situation was going on with Chris Brown and Rihanna back in the day, and Neo wrote the song Disturbia, and it was for Chris Brown, but he gave it to Rihanna. I want to say Neo wrote Take a Bow too. I can't remember, but all these singers have gotten songs written for them. That's nothing new. Legends was getting songs written for them. Kelly Price wrote songs for Whitney Houston. So I really don't understand how people could even try to make singers and rappers, somebody writing for them, similar when it's completely different. Your vocals as a singer is what puts you on. Rapping, you have to write your own lyrics to show people that you have a skill in order to be considered a rapper. If you can't do that, we don't want you. Hip-hop don't want you. But now, hip-hop is like making it okay for these rappers to do just that. And I don't understand why they feel as though they need to or should do that. And they're allowing Cardi to get away with so much stuff. And it's sad to see. It's really sad.
But you want to know why?
Why?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to know why I feel like they always use the Beyonce card?
Why?
Because, in everyone's eyes, in the industry, everything, like Beyonce, that girl, she is the GOAT. She is an epitome of an artist, especially of this day and age. Like, she's gonna go down as one of the best. And even your favorite from back in the day, Michael Jackson, didn't write all his songs. He did.
Right.
But it's the fact that he brought all those songs to life. He made it seem like, oh damn, I feel every word that he or she or whatever artist is singing. But especially for Beyonce, because she's so perfect, they have to try to find one thing is to discredit her. Especially her being a black woman. She's so perfect, she does this, that, and it's all perfect. But if you don't write her shit, no, she's too big to write her shit. Right. She don't got time. But at the end of the day, she wrote a majority of the songs from Destiny's Child.
Right.
Let's not forget that. Let's not act like she don't put a pen to the paper. She might not write the whole song, but she's writing some of them.
Right.
She's telling you exactly how the fuck she feels, and the words are not coming out right in her voice. And then she's gonna, okay, I need some help.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's it. And there's definitely like there's a lot of great songwriters. Like Missy Elliott helped a lot of people's career.
Right. Definitely.
But then I definitely value the people who actually do right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I value that, especially for R&B. Since we want to get into the R&B tip, R&B I feel is not completely dead, but I do feel like they want it for white people. They're okay with white people singing our songs.
Right.
And as a genre, we have to take it back.
Mm-hmm.
We can't just be a few people like this June's Diary, who is a wonderful R&B group that's not getting paid, and they're getting paid us.
Right.
because no one's listening to talent. They are vocally one of the best groups I've ever heard. Period.
Right. Yeah, I like
But,
them. I like them a lot.
but they're not paying attention to them, and it's sad. It's sad that Kelly left them the way they did. It's sad that no one's picking them up. I understand like groups is a lot, but the talent is gonna sell. Just like K Michelle. K Michelle can't hold the whole genre by herself. She's like the only real R&B girl right now. Besides Keisha Cole whenever she decides to make an album, and besides Mary whenever she decides to make an album.
But see, even with that, like when it comes to R&B, like let's say Mary Kay and who was the other person you just called?
Keisha.
Yeah, Keisha Cole. All right. So with those three people that was within our generation, or your generation, well, I'm still considered part of your generation too. We just was like the next people under, but we appreciated that moment that they all gave when they first came out.
Absolutely.
Mary J. Blige is like the GOAT, hands down. Like, Mary has overcome a lot of stuff, personal, musically, everything. Like, and she proved why she's the soul hip hop queen.
Right.
Now,
she wasn't good.
Right. Keisha Cole came along. I think she came before K Michelle. Keisha Cole came along. Keisha Cole debut album. That was a great album, and she proved that she could do R&B, but still keep it like that hood ratchet, type level. But people understood it, and people still could gravitate to it because they understood her story. And then K Michelle came along, and she did the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we appreciated that because we grew up on that. Now, this generation now isn't going to relate to what Mary, Keisha, and Kay is doing because
Kay still technically would be in their generation.
In this generation now?
I would consider her in this generation now because she's still newer. She just she's about to be on her first album, but she hasn't. It's been consecutive.
I mean, yeah, but I'm saying at the age limit, like these 16-year-olds, 14-year-olds now isn't going to go back and listen to K Michelle. Like, they're not going to go to Rebellious Soul album and be like, oh my gosh, I can relate to this. They're going to go to somebody like Queen Naja. They're going to go to somebody like her and be like, oh my gosh, I can relate. Even though her and K Michelle could be talking about the same thing, but they're going to go to Queen Naja because it's more simple to understand the direction that she's going with the song. Even though her and K Michelle is singing about the exact same thing, just in a different tone or different way, using different notes, but they'll jump to Queen Naja before they do K Michelle. And the same thing for Keisha Cole or Mary J. Blige. Like, they don't understand when it comes to R&B the content, and I think that kind of what messes up older R&B singers too, because now it's like they're a part of the music industry, they're a part of the whole music world and creating albums and different things. But now, because times have changed as well as the music and these labels and everything, accepting them, is now they have to figure out who their target audience is going to be. They got to figure out who's going to gravitate to what they put out, and will they appreciate it. If Usher was to try to drop an album now, people from our generation and older is going to listen to it quicker than this generation who would run to Queen Naja. They would jump to that first. And I can bet money that these 14 to like 16-year-olds, people now who will run to Queen Naja, the only song that they probably really know by Usher is Yeah, Confessions Part 2, You Got It Bad, and Burn. Those probably the only 4 songs that they really know word for word by Usher before they know a whole album. And the only way that they will actually know this whole album is if their parents still listen to it. Or, as they were growing up, they would hear their parents listening to it maybe on a car ride or while they cleaning the house. Just certain things. You have some people that's part of this younger generation who actually, is in tune with certain things. But some of them, they're not. And that's because they go toward the Queen Najas, or they that's the only thing that they can really understand. So anybody who's in her bracket, or that's just a part of this whole new twist on how they project R&B, that's what they're going to run to. I think it's kind of corny, but that's how it is. Because music has changed a lot for the R&B and rap community.
But I feel like we hopefully can get the essence back within music, within artistry, within rap, within this music in general. Because I feel like they've been putting out some great pieces of music this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just so happy to really see that rap is hopefully is becoming rap again. And for the R&B people, and for the pop girls, they're putting out some good music, which is music. I feel like it's not bubblegum, it's not some whack ass stuff that you're just trying to put together. I feel like they're really trying to worry about bodies of work again.
Right. Yeah, I do have hope for hip hop. I think that it could change eventually. I just think that it's kind of going to take time. But my whole theory was, I feel like all of the OGs, the ones that's really versatile and that could actually, do it, and pretty much anybody could do it, they put their mind to it, but the ones that we're pretty much familiar with who is versatile or could, just do certain things, they need to hop on this wave, show them that they could do it better than the ones that's on it, and redirect that wave back to what it's supposed to be. And that's just true hip.
Thank you for listening to this episode, and definitely let me know what you thought of this episode, and share, tell a friend, and be on the lookout for some new and exciting surprises, and be on the lookout for me coming back with some shit. Thank y'all for listening. Laters.